Alright, good morning, my Flora Garden Escape channel. Happy to have you guys here. If you're new here, welcome. We're happy to have you. Guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe down below. And don't forget to hit that bell so that way you don't miss out on any of our new videos. We are actually going to go through and do a full update with our garden. Show you guys what everything's looking like. And we're also coming out to feed the chickens and collect some eggs. So come along with me this morning before I officially have to work to check out the garden. Look at these hungry birdies. They're wanting their chicken crack, but I do not have any more chicken crack, so they gotta wait till this coming Friday to get some more. Watch out. Let me in. Yeah, let me in. I know. I know, guys. Here, I'll throw some out on the ground. That way y'all feel like y'all got some. What? Well, I already got some pellets. We'll just add in some more. As you guys can see here, I'm just throwing these pellets on the ground because I don't have any cracked corn for them today. Normally I give them cracked corn and spread it out throughout here, but since I don't have any today, we're just making do. Oh, sorry, babies. There they go. They're eating that up. Now we're going to come in here. It's a little dark. I don't see any eggs really. We got to definitely lay in some new hang. What? Cupcake? I know. Alright, so we got one egg. Looks like we do need to put in some fresh hay again. So we'll have to come out here later and add some fresh hay. Oh. Alright. Now, with going in the chicken coop, I always have to check my shoes because their poop literally gets on everything. And they definitely need some water too. So we're going to give them some water as well. No, Sonny. So this container here that we're going to open up and refill, it actually lasts them a couple of days. They're able to pick these yellow things here and get the water from it out. So we just got to go through now and refill it up. What I'll also do is I'll empty this. Sonny, do you mind? I'm going to scare you. I don't want to scare you. As you guys can see, when I go to knock this out, they're going to get really scared. Oh, that's as good as it'll get. Alright, now I'm going to get the hose and we're going to put it in there and turn it on. So with the watering tank, I look rough this morning. So with the watering tank, it'll fill up with water, and what'll end up taking place is I don't have to worry about the automatic doors opening in the coop. What I don't have to worry about with the jug is coming out here practically almost every day, refilling their water. The water, it holds the water, and they have water for a good couple of days. So I only have to add more water every few days, which is nice. Makes less of work for me to have to do. Now, this is going to take a minute to fill up. While it's filling up, we're going to go wander around a little bit. So as you guys can see, some of the weeds are starting to come back. These things are like super atrocious. They are vines that grow in the ground no matter what I do. They always come back. And as you guys can see, they're really easy to pull up, which is the given part. But they come and they spread like no tomorrow. And they'll constantly keep spreading because the seeds are in the ground and I can never fully get all the seeds up. So I just come out here, and once I start seeing where they're getting bad, I'll just start pulling them. It does appear here some of our bell peppers have fallen. Here soon I'll have to harvest some peppers, as it appears that one is definitely no good no more. That we can actually throw in compost. Oh, and just like that, the water is done. Alright. So as you guys can see, Jumper's content with the water jug being filled. And then I'm just filling this up just so they have the extra water. This will only last like 2 days. Jumper's going to drink from the top. Alright, and there's that. And I'll just toss this over here, and I'll turn the hose off. So, funny thing is, with our chickens, I actually, every morning I come out here, I'm always talking to my chickens. You might as well just call me a crazy chicken lady for talking to her chickens. I always talk to my chickens. And they talk back. Except it's not them talking, it's them squawking. Alright, so now we just gotta add the lid to the top. Jumper's gonna sit right there as we do it, I take it. Excuse me, babies. Hi, Jumper. Mom's gonna close this up. Yeah, Mom's gonna close it up. Jumper will actually let you pet her. She's a very sweetheart. She will let you pet her. As you guys can see, she's letting me pet her. She'll even let me hold her. Huh. I'll let you hold me, Mama. See, that sometimes there is just a little bit too much. And see, there she is. So pretty. She's so pretty. And then Sunny is a big mama's girl. Sunny is mulching. As you can see, some of his feathers are gone. But Jumper is a mama's girl. She loves her mama. Huh. Yeah. Excuse me, Fatty. I can't say your full name because we're videoing. Excuse me, mamas. Now, y'all are probably wondering where we get our chickens' names. So, when we name our chickens, the names come from a certain trait that our chickens have, that they do, or something that they look like that is familiar to us. And they have these distinctive traits as they grow up and get older. So I still am able to recognize who is who and what their names are. But, anywho, now back to the garden. So as you guys remember, we did plant Sweet Williams over here. They haven't gotten too big, as you guys can see here. They are starting to, but not as big as they will be. So it's just all a work in progress right now for them. They still got to grow up this trellis, and we still got that one over there, which is kind of hard to tell because of these dang things that are popping up here. They're so bad. It just gets so bad and out of control, especially if I let them. But as you guys can see, they're not getting super big. It does take a while for them to grow, just like with these ones over here that I planted. Well, these actually seem to be a lot bigger than the other ones, so that's the good news. And there's a spider web here. I'm going to remove this spider web because I don't want him there, because he can cause an issue for my sweet peas. So as you guys can see, I'm just fixing them to where they'll climb up the trellis. When it comes to training your vine plants, you definitely have to work with them on a daily to kind of get them to grow where you want them to grow, especially in the angle you want them to grow. Just grow, and then they'll grow up what you have them near. They actually need to be trained sometimes. Too bad my old man can't be trained like that. I just had a freaking heart attack. This dog just scared the living crap out of me. This is our neighbor's down the way dog. Doesn't have no collar. He is not leashed, and he wanders. He is a pup. No home training, no. I mean, he's very pretty. He's a sweetheart. Except when he gets to playing. Then he gets rough and he doesn't know his limits because he wasn't trained. So he is not ours. But yeah, no home training. He is a pit bull. He just needs some training, really, when it comes to playing. The owners, we know the owners. He's hurt the girls before. And I had to go down there and talk to the owners. And we see how well that went, because he still comes up here. And with dogs is, when you don't train them the way they should be trained, especially with playing and things like that, it can definitely go wrong, especially with pit bulls and Rottweilers. There's breeds of dogs that have a strong jawbone. Pit bulls and Rottweilers are the top two that do have that strong bone in the jaw. So the playing can get rough, and it can turn serious very quickly. But enough about dogs. We're not here to talk about that. We're going to go ahead and jump back into the garden. So we got some eggplant we do need to, not eggplant, we got some okra we need to harvest. As you guys can see, this one is definitely ready to harvest. This one will be ready to harvest here soon. And then everything else has went dormant. The blackberries getting died back. The grape is dying back. It's just all dying back from the cold coming through. So, and then we got those little chickens in there. We did take the other chickens already to the Tallahassee State Fair. So we have chickens that are in the Tallahassee State Fair. Now, with the seedlings we transplanted into the pots and that, we have some peppers we need to harvest too, and some rosemary. Our lettuce is doing good. It's very finicky. This is, you all are looking at it probably like, Selena, that looks like it's been stretched out, but it actually hasn't. It's just a little floppy. It had to get used to the area that it was in. As it gets bigger, it will get better. Now, I try and come out here and keep these leaves separated, so that way they're not so clunched up together, because with here in Florida, we have a high humidity, so things do get mildewy. We did also transplant the spinach. The spinach is looking great, to be honest. It's looking beautiful. The strawberries are dying back. We won't actually mess with these pots, this pot here, just due to those strawberries are going to more than likely grow back next year, along with these over here. We did go through to transplant spinach in this pot as well. Our sage is doing really good. It's growing. It's rained recently, so we did get some rain. The basil, we need to get ready to harvest from it again. We're actually going to be moving this basil into the greenhouse, especially since it is getting colder. I have to look at the temperatures to see what the temperatures are dropping. This basil smells phenomenal, guys. Let me tell you, I love that basil. Our dill is growing good. We need to transplant it. These little pots, y'all are probably like, Selena, those are weeds. Yes, they are weeds. These I actually let grow here because I'm going to feed it to our chickens. It's a very great, one of their favorite little snacks. We have more of the lettuces growing over here as well. As you guys can see, I did go ahead and pot these up. Moving over, we also transplanted it into pots, the Sweet Williams. We're going to make some kind of trellis in this pot for them, so that way they can grow up it and not going all around and going into the other plants. This time around, I put snapdragons in a bigger pot. So, lesson learned, snapdragons don't like big grounded areas. They like shallow grounded areas. So, putting the snapdragon in a pot worked out tremendously. As you guys can see, it is growing beautifully. Now, our dazzling blue kale is looking good. It's growing beautifully. Now, as I come over here to our okra, looks like it is growing some. Why does it look like something came out here and munched on it? Y'all see this? That looks like something chewed on it, right? I have a feeling the deer may have came out here. Now, I did bring this over here because it was showing signs of powdery mildew, which it doesn't show as bad. But I am just going to remove more of the leaves that are showing that powdery mildew, so that way they don't contaminate the whole plant. Now, when you see signs of powdery mildew, you're going to want to remove the leaves that are showing the signs of the powdery mildew so it don't spread to the other plants. We're going to go ahead and move over here because I think it's about time to transplant again. So as you guys can see, we definitely did get a lot of rain because we got rain in these containers. Cilantro is doing good. It is actually time to harvest some from it. So we will be harvesting some cilantro today. And then I'm going to show y'all how to dry it out and that. These seedlings are looking good. We are actually needing to get these transplanted. So later today, we will go through to get these guys transplanted and get moved out. Thyme looks good. We have some extra mint growing back still. The thyme is doing beautifully well. I feel like I'm missing a pot. I'm missing a pot, guys. So we skipped a pot. Over here is the dog, of course. Hey, bud. But in this pot is some of our additional thyme, which does appear to be growing very good. I'm going to remove that out. It's growing actually very well. It's getting luscious. It's getting long. This will be ready to be harvested before we probably freaking know it, to be honest. But it's doing good, so that's a good sign. It's not dying off. Now, when it comes to your herbs and that, you got to watch, make sure it's not getting a whole lot of rain. Hold on, guys. I may have to get this dog out of here because he's fucking with our Sorry about that, guys. I'm an animal I'm very animal friendly. I love all animals, but I gotta protect our chickens and that, and especially since our rooster's at the state fair. But anywho, now we're going into the greenhouse. Back to our video here. Keep getting distractions. So the remaining herbs that we have here is some mint. We have some lavender we need to transplant, and we have some oregano we need to transplant. And it does look like the basil's ready to transplant too, so I'm going to go ahead and flip you guys around. Look at it all. I'm so excited, guys. We're going to be transplanting all this probably this weekend. I want to quickly show you guys this bell pepper. The pepper plant that I have here in this pot. This pepper plant is so beautiful. It's just so luxurious. And she's already starting to produce. Now, when it comes to pepper plants, you don't want them to start producing when they're so little like this. But since this is in a pot, and you can see how big this pot is. This is a decent sized pot. It's okay if it starts producing because this doesn't need to be tremendously big. It's just to keep peppers growing in our garden throughout the season. Now, this big girl, she's been growing in the greenhouse since the beginning, since last season. As you guys can see, she's definitely tall. She's actually got to lean on this shelf over here to support herself because she is just heavy in weight. We will actually come out later today and harvest these peppers off of her, so that way it's not weighing her down anymore. As you guys can see, she's moved. She's scoured about. She's went her own way in that. Now, we do have other pepper plants in here. They're just not doing as good as she is. I think she gets a majority of that sunlight, so that's probably why she gets so big and she looks so luscious. But that's going to be her. Now, that's pretty much everything. We haven't really transplanted too much from the garden since we did our last transplanting, just due to we still needed to give everything time to grow in that. So, I mean, it's still a work in progress. We still got a lot more. Once we finish the transplanting of all these seedlings, we're then going to go through and start some more. Right now, it's just letting those take their time to grow. I don't want to transplant them too early and end up hurting the young roots, especially since they're so young. But that is going to be our update for today, guys. I got to actually head inside because it's almost time for me to start work. But that is just the update on the seedlings that we recently transplanted. And we will see you guys again also this weekend because we're going to do some fun stuff in the garden this weekend. So stay tuned for that as well. So I'll catch you guys later. Deuces!